Okay, so for those of you that haven't heard of Open Learning, we're a lifelong learning platform. So we're not an LMS, and we're not just a MOOC platform. We do things a little bit differently. So founded in 2012, Open Learning really at its core was designed to do things differently from an online learning space. And what we mean by that is we try to help move education delivery from being quite transactional in a platform to actually transformative. And at the core of that is a platform that has a pedagogy underpinning it, which is social constructivism. And what social constructivism is about is one that the teacher doesn't have to be the single source of truth. How do you build that community of practice with the peers in the learning experience, whether that's a purely online delivery mode, blended, or even in a face-to-face context, which some of our education partners use it for. So how do you do that? How do you pull apart and make the students naturally engage in the content, as well as support each other? So that peer-to-peer interaction and feedback loop is really important in how our platform is designed and the educational experiences that we build within it. Part of it as well is taking education partners through that change process, so that actually if you're using a new platform, it's not purely about, here's the content I've used in a face-to-face setting, let's put it online. Let's actually unpack what's the intention of this course, who is your student or your target audience, and how do we achieve those learning outcomes that you've desired in creating the course itself. What that means is that over the last 7 years, we've evolved to meet our education partners as part of that process. So our learning platform is a work in progress. In the last 12 months, we've been working quite heavily to improve our accessibility in the platform, so our WCAG compliance. It also means that at the end of 2018, we launched our e-portfolio capability. What's different with our e-portfolios is that the Open Learning student account sits at the Open Learning level. So regardless of which provider a student is studying with, their artefacts of learning are tied to their account in Open Learning, and they're automated. So all artefacts of learning, every piece of comment and project that they add into the platform is automatically pulled into their portfolio. And then the onus is on the student when they're going to graduate or apply for a job to actually turn off or to curate that experience and skill set that they're trying to show to their employers as well. In addition to that, they can also add an introduction video and share their portfolio via LinkedIn or an application as well. We've also evolved in recognition that quite often educators have come to educate in very different reasons. So some, it's a love of education and teaching itself, and for others, it's a love of the subject matter. And with that, they need guidance to be able to move through that transformation process. So we provide guidance in how to use the platform, what learning design patterns actually look like or could look like to achieve the outcomes you're trying to. And we also have a learning design team that can support the subject matter experts and the institutions through that process itself. More recently, we've also been getting more requests to actually enhance or support educators through how do we market our courses, particularly as we've moved from a space of universities playing in the MOOC or taster area to, and quite often it's an unpacking of existing IP, to actually let's design and build fit for purpose taster and professional development courses as well. With that, one of the benefits of the Open Learning platform is we have 1.5 million learners or 2.4 million enrolments, because we know that on average 25% of our learners will enrol in a second course, and they are free and paid courses throughout the platform, and we have 260,000 unique visitors to the platform each month. So for many institutions, it's also a way of expanding their brand awareness by using the Open Learning platform. One of the difficulties, or I think things that we've had to evolve over the last 6 years, is where do we sit? We live in a world where there's more and more education tech companies that actually we don't sit in the LMS space, and we're not a Coursera or FutureLearn itself. And what I mean by that is that we actually don't limit the education institutions that we work with in what types of courses they build. So they can be everything from undergraduate, face-to-face or blended degrees, postgraduate degrees, or completely non-accredited short courses as well. And they're all being housed in the one platform. What that looks like in practice is that by an education institution signing up, you've got your own white-labelled or custom domain portal where you can showcase your courses. They can be public, open to enrolment, free, paid, timed, completely up to you. We can integrate with Moodle, Blackboard, etc. It's then an opportunity to be able to extend awareness to a new market via the platform as well. Some of our education partners that we work with, you can see, extend right through from short courses, accredited, blended, and corporate CPD providers as well, often in many instances having an offering across all of them. Couple of examples that I'll run through now. At the moment, we're just about to launch a graduate certificate with the University of Newcastle, which we've worked hand in hand with them to create all 4 units right from the outset. So that will launch in July of 2019. A second one is with Red Hill Education. We're working in a consolidated approach across all of their brands as they move into a non-accredited arena, and working with their subject matter experts to develop custom purpose-built, industry-backed short courses as well. And then the third one is with CSU Open. So CSU use the platform for 2 reasons. The first one is actually for their student leadership program, which last month was shortlisted for an award in student outcomes. And the other reason is for their open programs. So we work in partnership with them to do everything from tweaking of their learning outcomes, naming of their courses, course duration, and using the data in the platform to actually continuously improve the offering to their students as well. So that's just a snapshot of open learning and what we can do. Thank you.